Have you or anyone you know ever self-sabotaged, and is it difficult to understand why? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about today. So, as always, if you're new here, my channel is all about mental health, the ways that I feel, how I try and thrive in my life in spite of that. I share all my learnings with you, anything new that I learn, I try and share with you, and I look at topical things as well. And I also bring Candy into the equation, who is the mental health puppy dog. So if that feels like something that might be of use to you, then please subscribe and turn on the notifications so you know each and every time I post. So today I want to talk about self-sabotaging. Now, a lot of people talk about hitting the fuck it button, and it's something that I've done throughout my life and never really had an understanding as to why I did it. I think this might resonate with quite a lot of parents as well, who might have children that seem to sabotage things when everything seems like it's going well. And I want to try just quickly today to explore why that might be and why people would self-sabotage. Now, the good place to start is that if any person that in their initial years has had some chaos in their life, and I'm not talking about chaos that they might remember, and it's not even chaos, it can just be stress, but in them initial years when the brain's developing at its fastest rate, and I'm talking first 2, 3, 4 years, first year even as well, of course. If an environment is there where there might be some stress or some chaos, then the brain develops according to that. And what I found in my life is that although I get anxious in the busy places, although being around lots of people can make me anxious, on a more broader level, silence and peacefulness, and when things are calm and as they should be, on like a life scale, that can cause me anxiety. And so I tend to get this being drawn to chaos, or drawn to the idea of doing things to sabotage, to mess up. What I've recognized is like I have a funny relationship with control. And so just being makes me feel out of control. I've got nothing to kind of like tend to, nothing to focus on. And throughout my life, what I tended to do was mess things up and then set about putting them back together. And I felt most comfortable when I was putting them back together. And that was because this idea of just being was very, very difficult to me. A good analogy is that I'm very, very comfortable climbing the mountain trying to get to the top. But when I get to the top and I look out over the view, then I feel uncomfortable. I get this sense of, what now? And I think like this type of anxiety, people will resonate a lot with the idea that you're always trying to get somewhere or get something. Throughout my life when I was younger, it was like, if I could just get the car, if I could just get the house, if I could just get the job, all these kind of things. But that peace, that sense of ease never came as a result of that. And what I recognize now is that it's because I like, I'm much more comfortable when I'm working towards something. That can even be true like in my relationships today. You know, I have this need to be working hard for happiness in my life. When I was younger, or when things were, you know, worse than what they are now, I kind of needed that chaos to feel alive. I needed that chaos to feel something. But as I get more into my adult life, I get to that place where it's just difficult to just be, like be as I am, who I am. It just becomes difficult. And so this is why I talk about the fuck it button that people talk about, because you just get that sense of, well, I'll just hit that, mess everything up, and then at least I know where I'm at. You know, everything just being okay can feel very, very uncomfortable to me. And this is also linked to shame as well, because the idea that people are just okay with me, that everybody likes me just for who I am, is difficult. That imposter syndrome can come in, and I can start to think like, they're going to find out. If they find out, then, you know, then everyone's going to drop me, and it can feel very uncomfortable and very out of control. And so that tendency to just mess it all up, do something stupid, can bring comfort, because it can be like, everyone's annoyed with me, everyone feels let down with me because I've done this, right? And now I can set about trying to put that right, rather than just facing the ultimate truth, what I believe the ultimate truth is within me, that people are just not going to like me anyway. And so this real dysfunctional way of coping and dealing with that is something that I have to really work on all the time. I have to really try and focus to remind myself of what I've got in my life, why I like it and why I want it. And then I have to work hard at that just being, because otherwise you live this life where you're always trying to make it and you never do. And so I think that's what a lot of people do. I think a lot of people, they don't understand why they do something. They act out in a certain way. They kind of hit that fucking button. And then everyone stood around like, why have you done this? You had things so good. Everything was perfect. Why did you do this? And the truth is, and the ultimate reality for most of us is, we think, I just don't know. I don't know why I did it. And people lose a lot. People lose a lot from this. So it's important to talk about it. It's important to share and open up with people about it, about where you're at, especially if you're, reaching the top of the mountain and feeling like you're going to hit the burn again. So that's just some ramblings really from today. I've been really poorly the weekend, so I wasn't going to make a video today. I was going to leave it and do another one next week, but I've been sat at home. I kind of didn't do my routine, so I've been quite anxious actually today as it is, because I didn't do my routine this morning, and I've been sort of stuck inside for a couple of days. But that is why I'm just sat here with this one. Let's get her in, look. What, Candy, what do you reckon? Candy, what do you reckon, mate? Decent video or not? Decent video? Yeah. I'm with you. See you again.